Well, one, thank you for being here today. This is the grand opening, the VIP. You all are the VIPs. The VIP. There you go. That's a round of applause, Madam County Executive. The VIP grand opening of American Job Center National Harbor. This has been years in the making, and through leadership and partnership with everyone here, this day has been made possible. I do want to start out by just acknowledging if all of our elected officials could stand up, please, because elected officials have really championed workforce development. So if all of our elected officials could stand, please, and we can give a round of applause. Thank you. Along with our elected officials, I'd like to recognize all of our boards and councils, especially so if you're on the Prince George's County Workforce Development Board of Pownell Valley County Executive and our local development council, please stand, please. All of our workforce board members and local development council members. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your leadership and helping us guide us here today. I also want to acknowledge all of our partners and our state leaders. We had some state leaders from the Maryland Department of Labor and some other agencies. Can you stand, please? I see you in the back, Jim. You got to stand. Thank you, thank you. And we also have partners from our federal partners. So if all of our federal partners could stand, please, and be acknowledged. Thank you, thank you. So today, again, this day wouldn't be possible without all of our partners. And last but not least, all of our county partners who will be providing services in American Job Center. Can you please stand? And the days will continue, and thousands of people will be served because of you all. So this, again, as I mentioned, this day wouldn't be possible. We were talking about it minutes before I came up here, that a year ago today, we were standing here saying that we were going to build an American Job Center during a pandemic and put people back to work. And since the first day she started, our county executive has always asked, what about workforce? What are we doing? What about the jobs? So I want to say thank you, Madam County Executive. And I also want to bring up Prince George's County's Executive, Angela Alsobrooks, as she provides the welcome to today.
Well, good morning, everyone. As you can tell, this is a very happy day in Prince George's County. And you know, Walter Simmons is a person who has natural energy. And so he's excited on most days. But I have to tell you, can you tell that today he has a little extra something, a little pep in his step? And so let's give him a round of applause because he has worked so hard along with Employee Prince George's for today. This is in his blood, and we share his excitement. And part of what we're so excited about today is we promised you that COVID-19 would not have the final say. And so there may have been some things that we were slower getting to, but the fact of the matter is great things are still happening and did happen even in the midst of a pandemic. And for that, we are really grateful. And so I'm so honored to be here today as we open officially the American Job Center at National Harbor. And this project represents for us so much more than meets the eye. It wouldn't have been possible without the many, many partnerships that we've enjoyed, most especially the partnership with the state of Maryland, our federal partners, and our private sector partners. And we know for sure that when Maryland works together with the county, amazing things happen. And so I'm honored to welcome as well Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford. Can we please give him a round of applause and thank him and the administration for the partnership that we have shared throughout, and thank him also for his support. I also, again, I want to thank Walter Simmons, but this entire team at Employee Prince George's has been on fire. So I want to thank them as well. And can we please acknowledge and thank them for their hard work, as well as our Prince George's County Workforce Board, our local development council for their hard work. And this is just really fitting a need. It is really satisfying a need that we have for businesses who want to fill their ranks with qualified job seekers and employees. And this helps us to do that with individuals who have new skills and to start new careers. And so this is really valuable to us. I also want to thank Tanger Outlets. This is the first American Job Center located inside a Tanger outlet, and it's open in partnership with the major development like National Harbor really does give it so much credibility. Southern Prince George's County has really driven to an exciting new level growth in our local economy. In fact, Prince George's County is, and you've heard me say it many times, and continues to be the economic engine, not only of Prince George's County, but I want everyone to be on notice that Prince George's County really is the economic engine for the region. It is growing in that way. And so if we continue to make investments in our community, we're going to see not only exciting growth here at National Harbor, but what we're going to see is across Prince George's, Maryland, and the region, we're going to continue to see these opportunities grow. The American Job Center joins nearly 2,400 locations across the nation and will serve 10,000 residents and businesses a year here in Prince George's County with specialized programs. And these programs benefit graduating high school students, our college seniors, residents who are requesting public assistance. We're able to assist residents who are seeking new employment and just seeking to learn new skills. These centers have served job seekers nationally. This has been for 20 years since the first one was established by the Act. It's the Federal Workforce Investment Act of 1998. That established it. And since then, American Job Centers have provided a popular nexus for local economies across the nation. I'm also really glad to thank Deputy Secretary of Labor, Julie Sue, and the Department of Labor, Employment, and Training Administration for helping us to ensure that this valuable program continues to find Americans fulfilling jobs. In addition to traditional workforce development services and training, you should know that this new American Job Center will be home as well for nonprofits, government agencies, and community-based organizations that provide workforce development and educational services. This work will help residents of Southern Prince George's County obtain in-demand and livable wage jobs. And so this is really important. Our community, like thousands of others across America, is so grateful to have this resource, as this is the first American Job Center that we've had since 2008. And I'm excited to watch this center become an integral part of Southern Prince George's County. And you should also know that Prince George's County stands apart in another significant way. And it is that we are so unique, so unique. There is no place like Prince George's County, not only here in the state of Maryland, but across the country. It's hard to find a place where the skyline supports both trees and easy access to metro, to major cities. And so our county is among the most diverse in the nation. We're making investments not only in education, healthcare, affordable housing, transit-oriented development, because we're capitalizing on our unique character over the last decade and the beautiful growth that we have seen. The American Job Center will be home to career pathways, and this is the first diversity, equity, and inclusion workforce development program that we've had here. And so we're excited to have the team from Workforce Compass and their new project, Future Fit AI, which is going to be here to provide artificial intelligence powered, and this will be career consulting that will be powered by artificial intelligence. Residents will have access to a library of online courses through Shift Up, which provides a learning gem for virtual learners to interact with other students and acquire new skills. Part of what I love about this American Job Center goes back to something that I have said on many, many occasions, and it's true today as well, is we have said that it is not just important for us to have economic development. In fact, in my mind, that is not the most important thing we do. It is human development that we are interested in. We're interested in investing in people, in their lives, in their livelihood, in their families, in their futures. And that is what the American Job Center really does represent for us. It's not just jobs. This is about people. And we can get excited every day of the week about providing a pathway to the middle class, providing a pathway to success for every Prince Georgian. And so that's what today represents. And again, I want to thank every partner who made this possible. Most importantly, I want to thank Walter Simmons for he's he just cannot be fatigued for his energy and focus. And you know what? Truly the best is yet to come. And so we thank all of you all again for being here, and we're just excited about today. Thank you. Thank you. No, that's thank you.
Well, as the county executive stated, partnerships with the state are integral to our success. And throughout this past year, Employed Prince George's has partnered, received several grants from the Maryland Department of Labor. We've received COVID Relief Act funding and American Rescue Plan Act funding. And those funds were significant as we were trying to build one of the most technologically advanced job centers this year, and we utilized about $92,000 from our COVID Relief Act funding to ensure that residents who didn't have access to our job centers while they were closed, and who when we open today still might not be comfortable coming in or have access, and those that don't have access to public transit can still get the services they need to access a livable wage career. And so that funding came from the state. We're also going to have some other funding to open our Vehicles for Change Center. I see Marty Schwartz here as well. So that partnership with the state is key, and that's why I welcome Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford to the stage to provide remarks. And I also want to say thank you to the state of Maryland for your partnership and support for workforce development in Prince George's County.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Good morning, everyone. I guess by now it's afternoon, but it's great to be here. Thank you again for that introduction. Madam County Executive, it's always great to see you, always good to be with you, and hopefully we can do more of these types of events before I leave office. You may not have time, you'll be campaigning. I won't be campaigning, thank goodness. Did I say that out loud? Okay. But it brings great pleasure to join you all this morning here at the American Job Center here in National Harbor. Jobs are the cornerstone of America in terms of building on the lives, individuals' lives, their families, and their futures. And being able to have a good job is the key to financial security, stability, opportunity, and above all, independence, both in the present as well as the future. And the American Job Center, the first American Job Center inside Tanger's outlet in the country, will provide access to employment, education, training, resources, and will benefit the state and the economy for generations to come. As was mentioned, the Department of Labor is represented here. I know Jim Ripakowski, Assistant Secretary for Workforce, is here and has been working with you all for a good period of time on this. Our Department of Human Services is also represented here as well. The Maryland Department of Labor reported that the state gained 12,000 jobs in August, bringing our unemployment rate down to 5.9%, which is the lowest it's been since the beginning of the pandemic 18 months ago. It's also worth noting that we've gained in the state 66,000 jobs since January of this year. You know, this recovery has been made possible by strong partnerships between government at the state and local levels and companies in the state, and of course our citizens. The American Job Center here at National Harbor is a critical part to rebuilding our hospitality and tourism area and retail industries that were severely impacted by the pandemic. Supporting businesses as we rebound has been a priority of the Hogan-Rutherford administration, and it will continue to be so. This year, the Department of Labor has committed more than $70 million of the federal funds that come in to local workforce development boards to address the needs of businesses. And we commend the local boards for their work as they are closer to the needs and concerns of the businesses and their communities and are best positioned to respond quickly and effectively to those needs. And that's an important point. At the local level, the workforce development boards are in direct contact with the employers, and they will know what skill sets they're looking for from their employees and can work to make sure that the employees, the people that are coming into the center, I have the skill set and are able to get upskilled if necessary to be able to get those good jobs. The Department of Labor the Maryland Department of Labor also plans to have staff to deliver reemployment workshops geared toward those jobs to fill those unemployment applications, but also the jobs that the American Job Center will be bringing to their attention. These public-private partnerships like this are extremely important because they help employers meet their workforce need and give thousands of individuals opportunities and connections to employment and marketable skills that will make a meaningful difference in their lives as well as their families. So we appreciate the investment in this success, the success here in Prince George's County for the residents of the entire capital region. And this is an exciting time for the state to have this center open to serve those who are looking for work here in the county. And we celebrate the efforts of the workforce development operations here, councils, and their business, and the opportunities for Prince George's County and the state. So at this time, I'd like to commemorate this occasion to present a governor's citation to the local workforce development board. And I don't know if Chair Young is here. Oh, there you are. Can you come up? If you don't mind, I'll read it. Be it known, or greetings. Be it known that on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of a tribute to honor the grand opening of the American Job Center National Harbor, with congratulations on this special occasion celebrating your commitment to providing workforce development assets to the Prince George's County community. And as the people of Maryland join together in expressing our great respect and sincere best wishes for the future, we're pleased to confer upon you this governor's citation, signed this day, Lawrence J. Hogan, Governor, myself, Lieutenant Governor, and the Secretary of State. Thank you.
Thank you.
So she wasn't able to make it today, but I do want to thank our county council members for their support of American Job Center National Harbor Workforce Development, as well as Councilwoman Monique Anderson Walker from District 8, which we are currently located in. So I want to mention that and thank our county council. But as we mentioned, our partners, our federal partners, are really key to policy driving, identifying resources, and creating strategies that we can implement at the state and local level. And it's an honor today to have someone who also worked at the state level in California prior to joining the Biden administration as the Deputy Secretary of Labor for United States Department of Labor. I'd like to welcome Julie Sue. Thank you. You got it.
Hello, Madam County Executive, Lieutenant Governor. I am really thrilled to be here to celebrate another marker of the economic vitality of Prince George's County. And Walter, thank you for your leadership. I know that the Department of Labor, my team at the Department of Labor, are really proud to work with you and to support the great work that you've done. I know Prince Georgians are creative, resilient, and hardworking, which is how the county and the people of this county have weathered the economic tumult of this pandemic. The American Job Center at National Harbor will support that dynamic workforce and support the businesses that are growing right here in Prince George's. There are a few better examples of the effective partnerships between federal, state, county, local, private businesses and unions, of the partnership between all those entities than job centers like these. And there's few things more important than what we do here, which is help to connect people who need and want good jobs to those good jobs. While the Biden-Harris administration's American Rescue Plan changed the course of this pandemic and delivered relief for working families, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act and the Build Back Better agenda, which is more widely known today as the Infrastructure and Reconciliation Bills, are an investment to help America build back better, creating millions of good jobs, rebuilding our country's infrastructure, and reducing the impacts of climate change. The administration's Build Back Better agenda also includes investments in training programs that will prepare millions of American workers for high-quality jobs in growing sectors, including clean energy jobs to tackle the climate crisis and advance environmental justice. In the jobs report last week, we saw that unemployment fell again last month. The Lieutenant Governor talked about its impact here in Maryland. We see that now nationally that unemployment rate is down to 4.8%. It is a low since the height of the pandemic. But the Black unemployment rate, although it's coming down too, was 7.9%. Which reflects something that we have seen over and over again during the pandemic, but also before, that economic equity, even in good times, is not the reality. And our number one priority, if we are to build back better, the better part of building back is to make sure that we tackle those inequities head on. And the systemic and other forms of racism that keeps Black workers out of the good jobs that are being developed and excluded from training programs is something that we want to do head on. And the comments that you made about this being a focus on diversity and equity is absolutely critical and very, very important both to me, to the Secretary, and to the Department of Labor as a whole. The numbers, the inequity that we've seen from unemployment to wages and job quality don't have to stay that way, right? Those inequities are not inevitable. And what happens here at the National Harbor American Job Center matters and can change those statistics and can change the real lives that are impacted. And the U.S. Department of Labor is behind you in that work 100%. At the U.S. Department of Labor, Secretary Marty Walsh says that our mission is to empower workers morning, noon, and night. Morning means when a worker gets up to go to work, they know that they have what they need. They're trained for the job. They know what it's going to take to get upward mobility. Their care needs are met, right? This is a high priority for this administration, for Biden and Harris. The idea that we want to build a care infrastructure so that people don't have to choose between caring for their families, whether it's young people or the elderly, and going to a job. It also means building a modern, inclusive workforce. And in the middle of the day, it means that workers know that when they're working, they are protected, that they have a healthy and safe workplace, that they're not subject to wage theft, and that the workplace is one that they can be proud to be in. And the evening means that they know that they're going to be secure in retirement, right? And that one setback is not going to destroy the security of a family, so that we know that there is affordable health care and support for transitions in your career. So American Job Centers are all about those transitions. It's appropriate that you're opening a new center for new jobs because at the Department of Labor, we're looking at workforce in a whole new way and excited to partner with all of you on that. There's two cornerstones to our approach to workforce. That is equity and job quality. So job quality means that we're not just training people and hoping that they get something, but that our training programs, our approach to workforce development is tied to the needs of employers and to the quality jobs that employers are creating, including right here in Prince George's County. And equity, which is at the heart of the administration's efforts, is about making sure that everybody gets to enjoy those pathways, the opportunities to get into those good jobs, and that we measure that in our workforce development work so that our outcomes are not just based on now who gets trained. It's not even just based on who gets jobs, but it's based on the quality of those jobs and making sure there's true equity in those outcomes, because what we measure determines what we're going to do. To make sure that workforce programs are improving equity, we are looking to partner with all of you on how we measure our outcomes, and again look forward to making this job center a model for what we actually can deliver. In addition, individuals who return to work don't just need training, but many of those who face the greatest barriers to employment also need other services. And job centers like this are uniquely situated at the nexus point to bring together things like childcare, right? Transportation, physical and mental health assistance, more critical than ever in the wake of what we've all been through as a country and the world, including housing assistance through direct supportive services and through partnerships with other trusted partners, including community-based organizations on the ground. So all of those pieces come together at the nexus of brand new job centers like these, and we're very excited to see what is going to be delivered. I just wanted to acknowledge many of you are also aware of the deep effects of COVID-19 on youth, including their connections to school. And so given this, it's also more important than ever that American Job Centers work in collaboration with K-12 systems, non-traditional school settings, and youth-serving organizations. And I want to specifically acknowledge Maryland's efforts to address the needs of its most vulnerable residents, both in looking at connections and pathways to apprenticeships through schools, but also the Maryland Department of Labor's work with the state's Interagency Council on Homelessness. Right? Again, equity is about looking at the most vulnerable, not just those who are most easy to employ, but those who face the greatest barriers, and measuring our success by how much we have done to connect them to the good jobs and the wraparound services they need to really succeed. When we build back better, we can make sure that we're really solving two problems at once, right? We're solving the need for jobs as well as the need that employers have for working people, and connecting those in order to build back an economy that is better than the one that we left when the pandemic hit us. While we're on the topic of high quality jobs, I just want to say that we're also very excited at the Department of Labor to shine a spotlight on the terrific career path that is represented by registered apprenticeships. So something else, we're looking to expand apprenticeship programs, including funding for apprenticeship programs, and again on the equity piece, making sure that women get into pathways for jobs in which they're underrepresented, and that people of color get access to the apprenticeships that are going to make a really big difference. We know that jobs and measuring job quality has always been about more than just wages, right? It is about wages, of course. It's about hours and stability, but it's also about dignity. It's about impact. It's about sense of purpose and self-worth. And so we're all here today because we're committed to making sure that all St. Georgians feel that sense of dignity and impact and self-worth that they can get from having a good job. So I am just very excited that this is my first visit to an American Job Center as Deputy Secretary of Labor, and we all at the Department of Labor look forward to what you're going to accomplish while you are here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So isn't that wonderful? I think what we'll see today is the mission and the system that the United States Department of Labor would like to see out of the local area. Prince George's County is that example. We have those partnerships. I see our Director Brown Burnett from Social Services. So we do provide those basic supports. We are launched, as the county executive mentioned, Career Pathways for All, which is the first diversity, equity, inclusion workforce development program, ensuring that everybody in Prince George's County can secure a livable wage, and working on several key projects with the county executive's office, ensuring that everybody includes our returning citizens, those who were previously incarcerated, with the work that we're doing at the Bridge Center and Adams House with the Health Department, Dr. Garrett. So, you know, I'm proud to say that we are the model for the United States. And again, it's because of all the partnerships here. And I'd like to call up to the stage Miss Gina Anderson Ford to represent. I mentioned she wasn't here today. Councilwoman for District 8, Monique Anderson Walker, to provide remarks, because when I started talking about American Jobs and National Harbor getting close with the Councilwoman, she wanted to know, well, what are the good jobs that we're going to be preparing people for, and how are you engaging our youth? And after we had those conversations, she understood what our goal was and put her full support. So Gina, if you could come to the stage, please. Thank you. I did.
Okay, no problem. Good afternoon, everyone. Councilwoman Anderson Walker definitely wanted to be with you all, but we have quite a big subject matter on our council meeting today, and she couldn't step away, so I'm here instead. My name is Gina Anderson Ford, and I bring you greetings. We welcome you to District 8. This is the district that Councilwoman Anderson Walker serves, and as Walter said, she was elated to hear that we were going to have a job center here. District 8 is what we call District Great. We call it District Great, and I want to greet the county exec, Secretary Lou. Thank you. Sue, I'm sorry. And Lieutenant Governor Rutherford, thank you. I just walked in, so I want to appreciate the comments about equity, because that's what it's all about. You know, everyone needs to be taken care of in this world. And District 8, that's what we're about here. So this job center, we know is going to provide those opportunities. It was 2 years ago on October 10th, 2019, we stood here and we were going to launch the opening of the job center, and the first job center in Tanger Outlets in the United States. And the hope was that the grand opening would be early 2020. We were over here taking film. We were interviewing people. We were really excited. And we shared how this job center would be a pillar to our community to support all ages with resources to start a career path or explore a new career. Well, we all know what 2020 turned out to be. The opening was halted by the pandemic. So we are delighted by the workforce development and partnerships with business owners with philanthropic directions to improve and expand their workforce. Knowing families and individuals will be uplifted by the center is tremendous. And what better location than here at Tanger Outlets in District Great? Quite accessible to all our residents. Thank you to Walter Simmons and the Employ Prince George's team for providing life-changing opportunities for residents right here in District 8 and the south side of the county. COVID-19 has altered many needed services throughout the country. We are delighted that we are moving forward with the American Job Center that will bring support, self-worth, and the ability to take care of families. We also talked about mental health in 2019, which is the councilwoman's one of her major platforms even before she was in office. Mental health, as we know, is on the rise as many things happen since the pandemic. I believe that when people have direction and when people have a center that knows that they can get some love and support, and just when they don't know where they're going, this is going to be the pillar. So we're excited to witness the success stories this job center will deliver in District 8. God bless you, and thank you, and have a great day.
So as we mentioned, this is the first American Job Center inside of a Tanger Outlets in the country. It's been a partnership that started with the Peterson companies in National Harbor, and several years ago, Jeffrey Swilley. I thought I saw him earlier. There you go. Jeffrey Swilley and I, we emailed Tanger Outlets. You know, you should give us this space because we got this great idea. Even though you've never heard about this great idea, it's the best thing you've ever heard. And you should just give it to us for free. And so, you know, of course, we didn't hear an overwhelming response. But a year later, almost to the day, Tanger Outlets responded with an email on this best idea they'd ever heard. A gentleman by the name of Juan Carlos said, Walter, we got an email from you. We went up the corporate ladder and came back down, and we like this idea. Let's discuss it. Jeffrey and I, a year later, were like, wow, what the hell? They really did it. Jeffrey said, well, you never know. You do crazy things, and things happen, Walter. So I appreciate that, Jeffrey. I think he did call me crazy at that moment. But that crazy idea was shared by Tanger Outlets and the Peterson companies in National Harbor. And Juan Carlos, who's now a board member on the workforce board, said, how can we make this possible? He said, I think I have a space, but don't be too scared when you see it. And we were terrified when we walked into this warehouse. And Jeffrey looked at me and he said, you sure, Job Center? And I said, I'm getting there. But, you know, Tanger shared an idea and they showed us what their thoughts and what it could be. And that's why you're here today. So I want to thank you, Juan Carlos, for sharing and driving us and showing us what the space could be. And I'd like to welcome Juan Carlos to the stage, because as we talk about workforce development, it doesn't happen without businesses. It doesn't happen without jobs and opportunity. And the greatest, when we talk about what is the greatest way to show that your workforce system is producing, it's when the business starts to make an investment in what you do. and Tanger made an investment in us, and I want to thank you. So I want to bring Juan Carlos to the stage to talk about what does the pathway forward look like. So thank you, Juan.
To be clear, it was a great idea. It just took some time to convince others. So we were happy to get this started. Welcome to Tanger Outlets National Harbor. I want to extend a warm welcome to every one of you here. So many of you have played such an integral role in making this happen. So thank you. And we truly appreciate being part of this great idea. Today we celebrate the grand opening of the American Job Center at National Harbor. For those of you who I've not had the pleasure of meeting yet, again, my name is Juan Carlos Linares. I'm the General Manager at Tanger Outlets National Harbor and a Workforce Development Board member. On behalf of Steve Yaloff, our CEO, and our executive leadership team, I want to extend a warm welcome to Lieutenant Governor Rutherford, Deputy Secretary Sue, Madam Executive also Brooks, and my colleagues and friends. So what does the American Job Center mean for our brand partners and our community? The American Job Center is going to be a vital resource for all, including our brand partners and their journey towards a future workforce. It will prepare the community and teach them with the skills necessary to excel in these roles. The stories of key holders becoming assistant managers and then managers and ultimately district managers are going to become commonplace now. With targeted training specific to their needs, the American Job Center will level up each applicant before applying and before day one of their new exciting job. They will be ready to maximize each opportunity. This will also provide our brand partners with a competitive advantage that I want to highlight. By allowing them to reallocate management staff, time, and resources and focus on employee retention, we're going to compete. We're going to set up a situation where they won't spend the majority of their time consistently training new hires and sorting through applications. I can tell you with complete confidence that the only people more excited than all of us here today are our 90 store managers behind us. They can't wait to get started, and I can't wait to celebrate the progress and continue our journey towards becoming the #1 outlet in the United States. Thank you all for being here, and a special thank you to our 90 brand partners who are going to help us on that journey. Thank you.
And as we talked with Tanger Outlets, and it took a while to get everybody to understand it, when they talk about being the #1, one of the things that Juan mentioned that they said is we need key holders. We need managers, jobs that are good paying jobs, $55,000, $60,000 a year. We can't find people. When we talk with Peterson companies in National Harbor, they say, we have restaurants that share the same manager, 2 or 3. Again, livable wage careers. And we said that we can be the #1 Tanger Outlets in the country if we can start identifying career pathways and identifying opportunities and giving the exposure to our youth to know what jobs are available and how do you go from retail associate for a summer job to working for a corporate brand. It's possible. It's a career pathway, and we can lead our youth and young adults to these livable wage careers, but it's all about career pathways, and it starts with our business community. So thank you, Juan. I would like to call up here our board chair, Sharnetta Young, and the vice chair of our corporate board, Michael Burke, and our county executive, because we do have some awards and honors that we would like to present today, our county executive. And I wanted to bring some of my bosses so that we could share this honor. But the county executive is going to present some awards for some people who are the reason really champion this effort and why we're here today. Madam County Executive.
All right, so we do have a couple of awards that we're really excited to give, and the first award is to the person who is responsible for us being here today. We lost really a giant in Milt Peterson, and for anyone who had the opportunity to meet him, what a visionary he was, what a beautiful soul he was. I remember having an opportunity to stand at National Harbor. We were up kind of high overlooking it, and it was just incredible to me with all he had accomplished, how proud and excited he was about the National Harbor. This was for him. We often talk about the crown jewel, but I really believe that for Milt Peterson, this was it. He was excited to describe for me much of what I saw there, including I remember one thing I was really excited about was that there is an image there of Frederick Douglass. And for anyone who will notice it when you go back over to National Harbor, Frederick Douglass is standing there with a cane in his hand. And he was excited to share that when President Abraham Lincoln was murdered, his wife gifted that cane to Frederick Douglass. And so the image is of Frederick Douglass holding the cane that was passed on to him. And so he had such a wonderful sense of history. He felt that the National Harbor was a part of Prince George's history that was important. And he was right. This has been a really valuable asset for us. And so I am really pleased to announce that we are not only recognizing Milt Peterson, but that today we are naming one of the rooms inside this American Job Center in Milt Peterson's name to honor him as a part of this American Job Center. And so that's the first award.
Kent Digby, Executive Vice President of Peterson Companies and National Harbor is here.
Okay, Kent Digby is here to accept the award from the Peterson Companies. Oh, here he is. Kent, thank you so much for being here to accept the award today.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Glad to be part of it.
Thank you. Thank you. Getting the awards right here. Yeah.
Kent, would you like to give a few words on
Sure. Yeah.
Again, thank you for the recognition for Milt. His passing this year has been tough on the company and a lot of his friends and family throughout the area. So it's really nice to see this being recognized. I don't know if many of us realize there's almost 12,000 jobs now created in National Harbor. So quite a success story. And the original jobs trailer was right here on the property. So it's really nice to see it come back home and be really done as well. It is behind us. So it's really just very exciting. And thanks on behalf of National Harbor and all the companies that will certainly benefit from all this. And thank you again for recognizing Milt and our company. And God bless everybody.
All right, and the second award that we have today is for someone who likewise is not a stranger. I'll call him number 7 because I've been blessed to be the 8th county executive for Prince George's County. And so we wish also to recognize former county executive Rutherford Baker, whose efforts also really contributed significantly to National Harbor and to our efforts here today. You all know he was unable to make it here today. We ask you to continue to keep him and his family in your prayers. You're aware that he lost his beloved wife and he is not able to be here today, but we certainly want to recognize him and his efforts in making today possible as well. And so we have an award that we will forward to him as well. Is anyone here to take it on his behalf? Okay, so we'll make sure that we present that to him as well.
So I told my big boss that I had a surprise that I didn't put in any of the notes, Gina and staff. So I snuck this one in. But I think it was the first holiday event that the county executive had, and CAO Jackson was there, and CAO Jackson said, the county executive really wants to work on jobs, and we got a plan, and we're gonna be in touch. And the county exec, as we took the picture, she said, Walter, I hope you can keep up. And I said, oh, I hope I can too. My job depends on it. And so since then, she's pushed and supported us and employed Prince George's was several months old when she came into the office. And now we're open to our first American Job Center, Youth Career Center, and really providing services across the region. And so as we did present an award to Kent Digby, Executive Vice President of National Harbor Peterson Companies, and present an award and honors to Rutherford Baker and Kent on behalf of Milt Peterson, we have 3 training rooms. And so our third training room is going to be dedicated to our county executive, Angela Alsobrooks, for her support in growing a new organization, an entity in Prince George's County, and allowing the National Harbor, allowing us to come up with those crazy ideas and know that we have somebody that supports us because it meets our mission. So the third training room in American Jobs in National Harbor will be the Angela D. Also Brooks training room. So thank you, Madam County Executive. Thank you.
Tara, come take the picture.
So this is CAO Jackson, everybody.
Everybody right here.
Thank you, County Executive. Thank you, CAO Jackson. Thank you. So I've officially engaged all of my bosses, right? Let me scan the crowd, right? But you know, I do. In closing, I do want to acknowledge a couple. We honor our elected officials, but our state delegation, our delegates and our senators. If you could please raise your hand if you're still here. We'll get it. And because in the state of Maryland, and our state delegation worked with our governor's office over this past year, Prince George's County received $12.6 million in funding to put our workforce back to work and help our businesses grow. And that wouldn't be possible without our state senators, our state delegates, and our state officials in the governor's office. So I want to thank you for that. So that's what we have to look forward to. So along with American Jobs International Harbor, you see we lost 20,000 workers out of our workforce. But those vehicles you see here, we're going to go find them. And we're going to go put them back to work, literally, right? So you're going to see American Job Center vehicles traveling around the county. Our goal is to touch about 1,000 events to let the community know about the resources that are available. Secondly, you don't see any laptops or computers in those vehicles. So we also have purchased, and it's being manufactured right now, the Prince George's County's first mobile job center that'll also arrive in March to not only to bring those resources on site. So I mentioned our community partners. Let's bring the jobs to the people. Let's bring the resources to the people, and then we'll get them to the job center. And that's through our state partnerships and funding to support. And so all of our employed Prince George's staff, if you could put your hand up, please. All of the staff, because I get to take credit for all of these people's hard work. And we truly have a dedicated staff. Throughout the pandemic, we distributed over $1.2 million in funding to residents and businesses. During the middle of the pandemic, rain, sleet, snow, our team was out in the community to take part in that. And then lastly, I am going to acknowledge my boss at home. I wouldn't be here today, of course, without my family and the leadership and our faith. But specifically, there is a lady by the name of Lenita Jacob Simmons, who happens to be my mother. Everybody, and yes, she doesn't like this, you all. She's here today. She's the reason why I'm in Prince George's County. But she's also the reason for many, many reasons why I'm here today. So I do want, and she also works with the United States Department of Labor as a Deputy Assistant Secretary. So I do want to say thank you for your guidance, whether I wanted it, didn't listen to it or not. But regardless, that guidance is why I'm here today. So Mom, thank you, and I appreciate your support. She's been here day in, day out. And she's here today, which I expected. So thank you for that. And so thank you to all of you all for showing up here today. I'm going to bring